Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DK Will, and this is DK Will talking about it. And what you see in front of you is revolving around the debacle with Sam Bankman-Fried and the FTX failure. And we got clues ahead of time that FTX was a part of the schematic. And what I want to bring out in this video is how it was clearly designed to bring in the sheep and slaughter them, to earn the trust of the average retail investor, not the accredited versions, and rape them of their money. Because way back in June, you can see there that the contraindicator, Jim Cramer, said that Sam Bankman-Fried doles out credit lines to save crypto institutions. He's the new JP Morgan. Save crypto institutions, huh? Yeah, he didn't save his own. But to bring the sheep in, the machine did something to earn the trust of those who are not really paying attention. And I want to help people to be careful during these very tumultuous times. Keep your head on a swivel, because this was all a part of the show. And you'll see that I expected this to be a part of the show before it happened. But what is more American than baseball? And so here is FTX being splattered at the World Series to get everyone's attention. Why? To build trust for the average uninvolved investor, retail that is, to look at it, see it advertised, and think, well, they must be good and solid. They're at the World Series. That is so American. And so here people come to put their money in. But these people calling in the sheep, they don't want wool. They don't want wool. They don't want to shear the sheep and send them back in the pasture. They want lamb chops. Because what was the outcome? This was the outcome. With FTX on the verge of collapse, customers are wondering what happens to their crypto. Here's what to do if you have an account there. I'm going to get ahead of that for you, folks. If your money was on the exchange, the FTX exchange, you're an unsecured creditor. You're last on the list. And right now there's tell going around that Bankman-Fried is taking care of his friends. Now I want you to think about how these sick people broadcast what they're going to do. And at the same time, they set traps for those who are not really paying attention. Bank, man, I don't pronounce that word freed. It's fried. Bank, man, fried. But you can see here the cryptocurrency exchange FTX continues to scramble this week to cover a liquidity shortfall of as much as $8 billion. Well, where'd they get that $8 billion? Clearly, it's being revealed that $8 billion came from regular retail investors who invested on the FTX exchange. And it's becoming more and more unlikely that CEO Sam Bankman-Fried will find backers after Binance walked away from a potential fire sale deal. And the Reuters mentions the exclusive battling billionaires and how CZ played him. He played him. He played him like a trump. That's the best way I can say it, really. But here's the thing, folks. They set everyone up to build trust because they want to make people aware of the crypto markets, but they know that huge gains are getting ready to be made in the crypto markets. And they don't want the regular average folks to be coming in there yet until they're ready. So they do something like this. They make a bloodbath so they can scoop up. I hope if you were able that you scooped up them beautiful prices, because here the very next day the very next day you're getting 10, 20, 30% gains. Like a previous video I said, you buy when there's blood in the streets. Well, folks, the reason I'm showing this is because I suspected that Sam Bankman-Fried was a part of the movie to set up the average individual, that he was not in the best interest despite it. The moment he and another individual made appearances. The question is, made appearances where? That's a good question.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hoskinson, you may proceed.
Hi, everybody. Chairman Maloney, Ranking Member Fishbach, members of the subcommittee, and congressional staffers who work so hard. Thank you for inviting me to testify at this hearing. I applaud the work of this subcommittee, and I appreciate you all taking the time to provide a forum for the blockchain industry. The blockchain industry has grown over the past decade from a small group of uncommercialized volunteer developers, and it was very small, believe me, to a trillion-dollar global economy encapsulating sophisticated engineering, scientific research, publicly traded companies, and millions of users.
And millions of users. So Sam Bankman-Fried testified, spoke, whatever you want to call it, before Congress. This gentleman also spoke before Congress. And I know there's a lot out there who have a lot of faith in this gentleman. But I say stay objective. I'm not calling anything out specifically. But a suspicion I had in the past has proven true with Sam, and I'm wondering if it's going to prove true with this gentleman here. The key being, out of all those to come before Congress, they came before Congress. And unfortunately, folks, if you live in the United States like I do, it's a little difficult to trust the intent and agenda of our governing body. Did this man give any other indications other than something as seemingly innocent as speaking in behalf of the industry before Congress? Well, there was another thing that happened. You remember that? The founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskin, has over the last few days been on the receiving end of XRP holders for alleging that they, the XRP community, came up with a grand conspiracy linking former SEC and Ethereum officials. A grand conspiracy despite all the evidence that's been splattered over by other crypto content providers who have been doing phenomenal jobs at doing so. Conspiracy theory. Well, folks, as a consequence, we know the XRP army is not one to play with. But here's my thoughts on the XRP army who waged war against Charles Hoskinson's amidst this lawsuit after he made those comments. In war, deception is a part of the war, and Sam Bankman-Fried was put up before us, came up out of nowhere, and crashed. Well, if somebody lost billions, who was it? I assure you, it was some retail people out there who are this moment, wondering, where is their crypto? What are they going to do? Well, unfortunately, whatever it is you're going to do is going to be last. So it pays to be aware. I'm not saying this gentleman and his platform is going to die. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But what I do know was back on October 24th when Digital Perspective posted a video of him being rather vulgar and talking about exactly what I just referenced. I also had something to say about it. And you can see here that it's so easy to dismantle. Why doesn't Charles take his own advice? Well, I said it's not so hard to evaluate. The moment he and Bankman-Fried were chosen and allowed to speak for the industry before Congress should have been the moment of realization that they are parts of the show and retail manipulation. ADA benefited. Cardano that is, on the lawsuit versus Ripple, FTX just appeared out of nowhere and benefited also. So I'm not saying I'm right, folks. I'm only batting 50% right now. But what I am saying, although it may not be popular, and it certainly is probably not going to be popular with Mr. Hoskinson and ADA holders, I just say, keep your head on a swivel, folks. This is going to be some turbulent times. I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. And I've talked about it. Have a wonderful day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.